Okay, we're in. Look, there are two houses, red and blue. If we go into the red one, we'll be the dog. And if we go into the blue one, we'll be the master. Doey, choose who you want to be. But know that if you're a dog, I'll be responsible for you.
Uh-oh, Yarnaby, are you sure you can hold the leash? Something tells me you'll be pulling me into the abyss. All right, I'll choose. Well, let it be the red house. I'll try to be a dog.
Woof woof! I'm ready for adventure. I'll be the fastest, the most agile, and oh, I think I almost dragged you down already. Okay, let's be careful.
That's it, Yarnaby. You're my faithful dog now. Just don't pull the leash too hard or I'll fly off into the abyss. Let's show everyone how to pass this obby.
This is the best duo ever. Yarnaby the dog and Doey the master. All that's left is to figure out which one of you is really in charge. I think the leash will decide for you.
The important thing is not to panic. It's important to work together in games like this. Doey, don't slow down. And you, Yarnaby, don't jump too sharply. Let's see which one of you makes a mistake first.
Ah, Yarnaby, what are you doing? I just took a step and you yanked the leash. That's it, I'm going down. Remember, without synchronization, we won't get far.
Oh, that was an accident. I just wanted to see how fast I could run, but okay, now I get it. If we don't move together, we'll fall endlessly.
I told you! I should have practiced first instead of rushing forward right away. Are you ready for your second try?
Aha, that was beautiful. Doey just disappeared. But now you understand. It's not about speed, it's about teamwork. So try again, only this time synchronized.
I'm already keeping a tally. There are 2 failures. How many times do you think they'll fall before they're at least halfway through?
Don't listen to them. You'll make it. Just count together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you definitely won't make a mistake.
Okay, Yarnaby, let's try again. Only now we'll count out loud so we don't get confused. 1, 2, step, 1, 2, step, let's go.
Copy that. Now we're gonna be the most synchronized team in history, or the funniest. Just don't fall down again.
You know what annoys me the most? Why are there only dogs here? Where's the cat choice? I would look perfect in this game. Imagine, a cat walking on its own. It doesn't need a master at all.
Well, by the way, yes, that would be interesting. The cat could just sit still, and the owner would try to drag him over the obby himself. Although, knowing Yarnaby, he'd still manage to drag me over the abyss.
Ha ha ha. I imagine you just sitting there while I try to drag you onto the platform. But if there was a cat mode, that would probably be the hardest level. Cats are on their own.
CatNap, why don't you just try playing as a dog? Just for once. Maybe you'll like it. Although, of course, the idea of cats and obbies sounds cool.
I can just see it. The cat is sitting there, the owner pulls it, and the cat just lies on its back and refuses to go any further. That would be the most realistic mode in the history of gaming.
I propose a new challenge. Go through this obby leading CatNap. He'll resist, meow, and fall down, and we'll try to lead him through.
Oh, come on. But actually, if there's ever a mode with cats, I'll be the first to go through it. In the meantime, let's see how Yarnaby and Doey do.
Oh, Yarnaby, this is harder than I thought. Just me pacing, you're already running. Just me jumping, you're still standing. Did we even move at the same time once?
I'm trying, honestly, but my paws are running faster than I think. Let's do it again. 1, 2, jump, 1, 2, go. Ouch, wrong again.
They look like 2 characters with lags in the game. One jerks forward, the other jerks back, and then they both fall down. Aha, but maybe they'll find a rhythm after all?
I'd say this is the worst team for synchronized trials, but honestly, it looks like a lot of fun. The main thing is to stay patient, guys. You're almost there to learn.
I was already keeping a tally of the falls, but now I'm just looking at how many times they don't match the moves. That's definitely a new record.
This is exactly why cats don't need an owner. I just go through it myself the way I want to without all this trouble. But okay, let's see if they can at least get through one level in sync.
Okay, Yarnaby, let's try something else. I'll count and you listen. Ready? 1, 2, go. 1, 2, jump. That seems to be working. Yarnaby, you're not mad, are you? I can see your ears twitching, and your tail tense, and your teeth showing. You're not going to bite me, are you?
What? Me? I'm the kindest dog in the world. It's just... Grrr. You didn't jump in time again. And because of that, we fell again. How many times already?
Uh-oh, Doey. Maybe you should run. Yarnaby looks like his patience is on the edge. There's about to be a rabid dog
try to hide. Or throw Yarnaby a virtual bone. Maybe that'll calm him down.
Huh. It's not Dog Walk Obby anymore. It's Survival Obby. Doey, your main job now is to not get bitten.
This is exactly why I prefer to play as cats. We just get angry in the shower, but we don't bite. Although, it would be funny if Yarnaby actually bit Doey. Maybe he'd start moving faster.
All right, Yarnaby, I promise. Now it's total synchronicity. Just don't bite, please. Let's try it again. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, jump.
Okay, well, I won't bite yet. But if you miss again, I'll turn into Bite 3000. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Yarnaby, maybe we should cut that leash off. That way we can run separately and not fall off after each other. I'll jump and you just run.
What? Are you serious? We're a team after all. If you cut the leash, you and I won't be in sync at all. I won't know when to jump.
Doey, that's not the answer. It's better to train in sync than to break the bond. After all, if you can't work together, the falls will only increase.
Uh-huh. It'll be like two players. But instead of helping each other, it's total chaos. Don't you think synchronicity is the key to victory?
Exactly. Without synchronicity, you can't pass this level. Imagine one falling into a pit and the other just watching and not being able to help.
Hey, Yarnaby, maybe we should cut that leash off. That way we can run separately and not fall off after each other. I'll jump and you just run.
What? Are you serious? We're a team after all. If you cut the leash, you and I won't be in sync at all. I won't know when to jump.
Doey, that's not the answer. It's better to train in sync than to break the bond. After all, if you can't work together, the falls will only increase.
It'll be like two players, but instead of helping each other, it's total chaos. Don't you think synchronicity is the key to victory?
Exactly. Without synchronicity, you can't pass this level. Imagine one falling into a pit and the other just watching and not being able to help.
Hey, Yarnaby, maybe we should cut that leash off. That way we can run separately and not fall off after each other. I'll jump and you just run.
What nonsense, Doey. We can't give up. Yes, it's hard, but we'll get through it. We just have to stay focused and not panic.
Huh. If they don't make it out of here, it'll be epic. But at the same time, I believe they can get through it. With perseverance like theirs, it's possible.
That's it. If they're stuck on this part, it's time for us all to make a plan to escape. We need to stick together instead of treating the road as an obstacle.
No way. I mean, they've only just started. There has to be a solution. Maybe they should try changing their strategy and be less rushed?
That's it, Yarnaby. We're not getting out of here. This is the end. We've tried, but it looks like we're stuck in this maze forever.
Don't say that, Doey. We can't give up. Yes, it's difficult, but not all is lost. We can still find a way out if we think rational. Wow, what a road! I thought it would be something easier, but this is a whole kilometer-long road. I wonder how long it'll take to get to the end. I hope it's no problem.
Haha. Do you seriously think it's going to go smoothly? This is Kart Ride. Something always goes wrong here. Just don't relax because there will be surprises ahead.
Look at the tight turns. If you miscalculate your speed, you can easily go off the rails. Are you sure you're ready for that?
Well, purely theoretically, if you do everything right, you can safely make it to the end. But it's you, Yarnaby, so I'm not sure about your chances.
I don't want to scare you, but the road looks like it was built by someone with no understanding of safety at all. I hope you have a plan in case you fall.
I can already feel something going wrong. Just tell me, Yarnaby, have you ever made it through a cart ride without falling?
So, what have we got here? This wagon doesn't look that hard to control. There seems to be acceleration and brakes. Let's just try to accelerate a bit, and then we'll see. The important thing is not to panic or it'll go wrong. If anything, I'll calm down immediately. The main thing is not to make any sudden movements.
Ha! I know how it ends. You need to be very careful with those controls, Yarnaby. One wrong lever, and you'll end up in the air or somewhere below, so be prepared for the unexpected. And don't forget the brakes. You'll definitely need them.
I think you underestimated the difficulty of this wagon. It's not just sit and roll. You have to watch every turn carefully and press the right buttons on time, or you won't make it to the next turn.
Are you sure you're going to be okay? You haven't seen yet what happens when the speed starts to build up. All those maneuvers and turns, if you don't slow down in time, just forget about safety. But I hope you do well. I'll be watching.
So, Yarnaby, ready? It's not such an easy route here. You do realize that if you don't calculate your speed or the angle of a turn, you'll fly straight into the abyss. On these cars, you have to feel every movement, not just accelerate.
You'll do fine if you're careful. But honestly, I think you'll still do something weird. The main thing is to remember, the brakes can be your salvation if things suddenly start to go wrong. Best of luck, bro. You're definitely going to need it.
Ha ha ha, what are you, Yarnaby? You almost flew off the rails. I told you it's not as easy as it looks. Don't worry. We all started out with failures like that at some point. The important thing is not to give up and try again. You can do it, I'm sure.
Well, how can I tell you? When you crash so fast, it's just unavoidable. You just try to calm down a bit and don't pull the levers. Learning to control it won't be easy, but you haven't given up, have you?
Huh? Well, that was cool. But honestly, if you want to survive this cart ride, you need to learn to steer a little more precisely. Practice is what you need. Maybe you should slow down a bit.
Don't worry, Yarnaby. You're not the first to make mistakes. The important thing is that you're making attempts. We've all been in your shoes, so don't think you're the only one. Keep going, and at some point, you will start managing like a pro after all.
I think it's a normal process, Yarnaby. You don't give up on yourself. We all have to go through moments like that. When you learn to keep the wagon under control, we'll all be proud of your progress. Until then, just keep trying and don't forget the brakes.
Huh, well, yeah, that was too fast, but I can't give up. I'll try again, it'll be worse. I'll speed up less. Just need to practice more and not panic. I can definitely do it. I crashed again. I told you I can't control this thing properly. Why does it always turn out like this? What am I doing wrong?
Haha, you're so full of shit. Did you really crash again? I told you not to be in such a hurry. It's not a race. Relax a little. You're falling faster and faster every time, like you're doing it on purpose.
Oh, Yarnaby, it's not funny anymore. You crash every time like you come for it on purpose. We all know you can do better than that. You just need to loosen up a bit to start controlling the wagon.
Aha! Well, that was epic. You did fall one more time after all, and that was pretty expected. But that's okay, Yarnaby. We've all been there, so don't worry. Just pause and try again.
Now that's a twist. Did you even once think about what you had to do before jumping into those wagons? Looks like it's going to be back to square one anyway. But that's okay, you're in the game anyway, so chances are good.
Ha ha, well that's okay, Yarnaby, don't give up. We're all laughing here, but you're not the only one. Just get some rest, try again, and you can do it. We all believe in you, don't worry.
Okay, guys, if someone on a cart gets in front of us, what do? We need to react somehow quickly so we don't crash into it. I think if it's an obstacle, just try to go around or stop and look at the situation.
If the man on the cart is in front of us, I would just slow down and watch carefully. Get a sense of where he's going to avoid a collision. If he's in the way, you can swerve to avoid hitting him.
Yes, but what if the cart moves too slowly, or even stops unexpectedly? Then we definitely won't be able to get around in time. We need to think ahead and be ready to brake to stay out of trouble.
What if we can't detour because we reacted too late? I think if the cart is right in front of us, we can run through it, but only if it's safe to do so. It's not like we don't know what the cart is.
If it fails, the brakes can save us. But we have to be careful, because if we brake too late, we could still crash. The main thing is not to panic.
Don't forget that in these situations, you have to make a quick decision, but stay calm. Brakes and detouring are our best options if something goes wrong. The main thing is not to give up.
Again, I just appeared, and I'm at the very beginning of the location again. Why does it always happen like this? Is that why I keep coming back to the start? What's the pattern? I can't figure out what's even going on with this place.
Ha ha ha, you're a real piece of work, Yarnaby. Why are you back here again? You're definitely doing something wrong. Come on, pull yourself together. You know what to do. Just try again. Don't worry, you'll be fine. We're all with you.
Oh, Yarnaby, well, you're right back at the beginning again. What's wrong with you? How do you always get yourself into these situations? You need to approach these levels differently somehow. This isn't the first time you've played.
Well, here you are again, Yarnaby. I think you can really make a difference. The main thing is not to give up, even if the beginning of the level failed again. We're all here to support you.
Okay, that's enough. You don't have to worry about being at the beginning again. The main thing is that you know what to do now. Just pull yourself together, try to figure out what went wrong, and take the next step. You can do it.
Yarnaby, it's all normal. We've all made mistakes at the start at some point. Just don't forget that you can fix it if you stay focused. You can definitely make it through the next step if you don't give up.
Okay, guys, enough of me being such a loser here. I think this is enough. I can make it through all of this at least one more time, one last chance, and I'll definitely make it through, show you all what I can do.
That's the spirit, Yarnaby. Are you ready to go again? Well, if you're determined to try again, come on, we're all with you. You can definitely do it. I'm sure it'll work out this time.
Now that's a different matter, Yarnaby. I like your confidence. Now that you've decided to give yourself another chance, go for it. Don't forget that we're all here to support you.
Well, Yarnaby, if you say you've had enough for one more time, then we all believe in you.
Well, Yarnaby, are you ready to fight again? Don't forget, the main thing is not to lose patience.
Damn, this isn't funny anymore. I'm stuck at the very beginning again. Why do I always get myself in these situations? What the hell is this place? This park looks creepy. The rides look like they're from some nightmare. You have to be careful. There's obviously something wrong here.
Exactly. Look at those slides. They're so tall and weird. I can feel that something is not right here. But if you can find a way out, I'm sure you can beat whatever is here.
These neon lights and strange sounds? I don't like this park. I'd rather go straight home. But since you're here, Yarnaby, let's do it.
Wow, what is that? A huge hole with such a mouth at the bottom. If I fall in, I'll definitely get eaten. This park seems to be a lot scarier than I thought. We need to find a way around this place rather than risk it.
There's a reason this park is called the Carnival of Terror. You have to be very careful, Yarnaby. You seem to be on the edge of your life right now. Maybe there's something that can help you get to the other side without falling into this trap?
What is this? It looks like a factory, but it's not the way it's supposed to be. Traps like from a nightmare. I have to be very careful, or I won't get out of here alive.
Did you see that? Everything here resembles some kind of darkness. If these traps can outsmart you, you'll definitely get stuck. Try to move slowly so you don't fall into one of them.
I can't even imagine how difficult it is to go through all these traps. This factory is a real nightmare. If you make a mistake even for a moment, you could fall into one of the traps. Be very careful, Yarnaby.
Do you see that? Everything around us seems dangerous. Every step could be our last. We need to act quickly, but at the same time in such a way that we don't fall into a trap. This park seems to have us on edge.
It's like everything here is designed to trap us. We need to find a way to disable these traps, or we'll never get out of here. You have to figure out how to deal with them before they catch us.
This plant doesn't look friendly at all. The traps can activate at any moment, and if we're not careful, they'll catch us. I'd stay away from all those mechanisms.
I think I'm almost at my wit's end. These traps are everywhere, and I have to be ready for any twist and turn. We need to look for weaknesses in this place and find a way around them, or we won't survive. If this place is full of traps, then there must be someone controlling it all. Who could be the main monster running this park? I don't think these mechanisms move on their own.
It must be some maniac who is using this park as a trap for people. Someone with great power and cunning. Perhaps it's some mad scientist or even a robot running things. But whoever it is, we need to be ready.
There's clearly something wrong here. If all these traps are all part of the plan, then there must be someone controlling them. Maybe it's some monster version of a watchman.
Oh no, he's right here. That clown with the knife. He's definitely the main monster of this place. We can't stop him if we don't act fast. Looks like we have no choice but to run away. We have to look for a way out right now.
This is horrible. That clown looks completely insane. He's got a knife and he's clearly not going to stop until he catches us. We need to not just run away, but think through every move to trick him or he'll catch us.
I can't believe that this clown is actually so dangerous. With a knife in his hands, he looks like a real monster. We need to find shelter or a way out, but we have to move very carefully so we don't fall right into his clutches.
If he's after us, we don't have time to think. He won't wait for us to think. We have to move fast, avoid traps, and find a way to escape, or we'll definitely end up in his hands.
This all looks like a deadly game. The clown with the knife is definitely no joke. He's not just scaring us, he's really out to get us. We have to move fast, but also be smart so we don't fall into his traps.
Things are getting worse than I thought. These traps are much more dangerous now. If I'm not careful, I might fall into one of them. I have to be even more careful not to step on something that will send me straight into a trap.
Damn, everything around here looks like one big ordeal. These traps have obviously gotten more complicated, and they don't forgive mistakes. Even the slightest movement can lead to disaster. You have to be very careful.
These aren't just traps anymore, but real deadly obstacles. If I make a mistake for even a second, I'll definitely end up in one of them. But if we don't move forward, we'll be stuck here forever.
I don't know how I'm even going to survive this. These traps are a real nightmare. They're so tricky that every move feels dangerous. We have to find a safe path quickly or we'll all be in trouble.
These traps are a real test of survival. If I'm not careful, it'll all be over too quickly. We can't afford to make a mistake or it's the end. We have to be precise in every step.
What a place. It doesn't feel like anything that could be called real. It's so hot in here I can barely breathe. If I don't make it through this parkour experience, I definitely won't survive. Gotta keep my head cool.
What the hell is this? It's hot as an oven in here, and these parkour trials are making it even harder. I don't know how we'll survive here, but if we don't move fast, we'll definitely stay in this place forever.
This place is a real nightmare. I didn't realize the world could have such hot conditions. The traps here are not just scary, but dangerous because of the heat. We have to move carefully or we won't survive.
This is just horrible. We're in hell and everything is on fire, and the parkour trials are another huge obstacle. But if we fail, we'll stay here forever. It's time to step up.
How can I even stand this heat? These parkour trials here are even harder. We have to pass them, but don't forget, the heat can wear us down. It's a real challenge, but if we work together, we have a chance.
I can't believe we're really here. The heat, the hot lava flows, and those horrible obstacles. It's not all just parkour, it's real hell. If we're not careful, we'll be consumed by fire.
I'm not sure there's even a way out of this place. We could be trapped forever. But if I stop and think about it, we definitely won't get out. We need to find a way to move on and at least try to get out of here.
I don't know if we'll be destined to get out, but if we don't believe we can, we definitely won't get out. The park seems to be set up so that we'll give up. But if we don't try, someone will definitely stay here forever.
We've been trying to get out for a long time now, but it's like this place is pulling us in deeper and deeper. I'm afraid we have no way out, but if we stop, it will definitely be the end. We have to stick together and look for a chance, even if it's a small one.
I want to believe we can get out, but this place doesn't seem like something that just gets abandoned. The park is addictive, and it seems like every step only leads us further into the trap. But if we don't try it, we definitely won't know.
The question is not whether we can get out, but how much time we have left. This park is probably specifically designed to have no way out, but I believe we'll find a way if we don't give up. It all depends on how much we decide to fight.
Maybe this place really is grounded forever, but if we don't look for a way out, we'll definitely stay here forever. We have to think there's a way out. Otherwise, we'll stop looking and lose everything.
I can't believe I realized this. I'm really scared of clowns. That clown with the knife in the park, it scares me more than I thought it would. I always laughed when other people said they were afraid of clowns. But now I've become one myself.
You're not the only one, Yarnaby. These clowns aren't just weird, they're real monsters. And all that horrible screaming, laughing, and that knife, it's really scary.
Here it is, the last door. I can't believe it's finally ending. All this time I thought I wasn't going to get out of here, and now I'm almost there. It's been hard, but I made it. What? How did I get here? Those sprunks caught me? 2 of them, a pink one and an orange one. They're not just guards, they're a team against me. If one of them blinks, the other one will definitely back me up. I have to find a way out before they decide to step up their defenses.
I told you this was a trap. Those 2 are on duty here for a reason. It's like they knew in advance that you were going to show up. The problem is that escaping from this prison will be twice as hard. One could be outsmarted, but the 2 of them definitely won't let you go.
You're in serious trouble, Yarnaby. These spranks are not like the usual guards. They work together and seem to know your every move in advance. If you want to get out, you're going to have to think ahead and be faster than ever.
Ha! That's the fun of it. 2 against 1. Not fair, of course, but more interesting. I wonder if they're just patrolling or if they can anticipate your movements. Maybe they have some other secret traps hidden here?
I wouldn't make any sudden moves if I were you. If one doesn't notice, the other will definitely react. Maybe try to break them up or distract them? If their teamwork breaks down, then you might have a chance to get out.
Those two clearly aren't gonna let you just go. But I wonder why they're working together. Maybe they have a weakness that can be exploited? If you can find a way to separate them, your chances of escaping will increase.
Look, Yarnaby, since there are 2 of them, you need something to separate them. They're obviously stronger together, but if one is distracted, the other will remain vulnerable. Maybe we could try to lure one of them into a trap. There are definitely some mechanisms in places like this that can be used.
Good idea. If I could make them start arguing amongst themselves, maybe play on their colors, like saying one of them is weaker than the other. If they start competing, it would give me a chance to escape.
Or use speed. Those sprunks may be strong, but they're hardly as fast as you. If you find narrow passages that are hard to run through with 2 of them, you can leave one behind and take them apart one by one.
What if you run them into each other? Like, make one randomly attack the other? Then they'll be busy squabbling, and you'll quietly escape. The main thing is to provoke them properly so that they believe it's their own mistake.
You could try a stratagem. If you could hide and make them think you've disappeared, they'd start to panic. When enemies lose control, they make mistakes. The only question is, where in this prison can you hide like that?
What about bait? Find something bright, like pink and orange objects, and scatter them around like they're important artifacts. Maybe they'll each want to take their color and they'll disperse. Then you can act on it.
Okay, we need to figure out where these spranks have weaknesses. They're strong together, but no one is perfect. Maybe one of them is slower or reacts worse to sudden movements.
Good question. The orange one seems to be more aggressive. It rushes right into the chase. And the pink one is more observant, like it's waiting for the right moment. So, you can provoke the orange one into making a mistake, and then deal with the pink one.
Or vice versa. If Pink is cautious, then he may be afraid of unexpected situations. Maybe if you abruptly change your route or pretend you're going to one place and then turn around, he'll get confused.
Another option is to check how dependent they are on each other. What if one of them can't see well in the dark and the other is afraid of water? Maybe the prison is set up so you can use their fears against them.
They're definitely different attack styles. The orange one seems to rely on strength, which means if you lure him into a tight spot where he can't swing, he'll be useless. And the pink one might be faster, but not as strong. So in open terrain, you might just be able to outrun it.
You can also test their reactions. Maybe if you stop abruptly, the orange one will just run past and the pink one will hesitate. Then you can quickly turn around and go the other way.
Look, Yarnaby, what's better, trying to sneak out stealthily or running at top speed? If you make too much noise, they'll notice right away, but if you move quietly, it might take too long.
That's the thing! If I run at full speed, I'll have a chance to break through, but if they're faster, I'm finished. And if I try to hide, I need to make sure there's somewhere to hide. The question is, are there any hiding places or just open corridors?
If the prison is built like an obby, there are probably more traps than dark corners for stealth. These places often have platforms that disappear and lasers that make it hard to slip through undetected.
But stealth can work if they're not watching you too closely. For example, if there are vents or secret passageways, you can just go around them and not risk a chase.
What if you combine the two methods? For example, move stealthily at first until they notice, and then, when you find a good route, rush forward. If you catch them off guard, you can gain an advantage.
It's also important to understand how they react to sound. If noise attracts them, you can purposely throw something in one direction to distract them and go off in another. It's the perfect combination of speed and stealth.
We need to figure out exactly how these sprunks attack. If both act the same, you can come up with a simple escape plan, but if each has a different style, you'll have to adapt on the fly. One may be faster, while the other is stronger, and if you choose the wrong tactics, they can easily cut off all avenues of escape. It's important to watch them closely to understand their weaknesses and not fall into a trap.
Yes, I've already noticed that the orange Spranky acts aggressively. As soon as he sees a target, he immediately rushes in pursuit, not thinking at all if there's a trap or obstacle ahead. He relies on strength rather than tactics, and this can be used against him. If he doesn't analyze the route, you can make him chase me into a dangerous place where he will get caught himself.
Pink, on the other hand, seems more cautious and calculating. He doesn't rush forward right away, but as if he's waiting, watching where you move to pick a convenient moment to attack. He may not be as fast, but if you make a mistake, he will use it immediately. So you can't let him dictate the pace. You have to create a situation where he can't adapt.
It turns out that the best way to deal with Orange is to outsmart him, to make him make the wrong move, and with Pink, on the contrary, do not give him time to think. Confuse him with chaotic movements. If you change direction abruptly and don't let him predict your actions, he might get confused and make a mistake.
It's also important to understand how they work together. If they have a clear plan where one corrals and the other intercepts, it's better to split them into different sides right away. If they're separated, they won't have a chance to utilize their synchronicity and each will be left with their own shortcomings. Conversely, if they don't know how to interact, you can use them against each other.
You could also try testing their reactions. If you stop abruptly or make a false maneuver, maybe one of them will lose momentum or get confused. For example, if Pink relies on analysis, a sudden illogical movement might throw him off. And if the orange one is just running wild, you can pretend to run off to one side and then turn around sharply and he'll run right past.
It turns out that with Orange, it's better to use traps and unexpected turns, and with Pink, it's better to use chaos and unpredictability. The main thing is not to let them control the situation or they'll back me into a corner. I need to stay one step ahead and use their weaknesses against them.
You're almost at the finish line, Yarnaby. The important thing is not to panic. The orange one will probably try to block your way.
What the? Spranky's big robot, but it's stuck. This is my chance. If I can take advantage of it, I'll defeat him for sure. Just have to act fast before he breaks free.
Wow, you've almost caught up to him, Yarnaby. If the robot is stuck, this is your moment to get out. Just don't lose concentration. The most important thing now is not to miss this opportunity.
If you can disable it or damage it somehow, the robot will no longer be a threat to you. This is a chance that can change everything. The main thing is not to hesitate and act decisively.
It worked! I defeated that giant. I thought that was it, the end, but no, I made it. Oh no, he's so close. We have to get out of here before he wakes up or I'll be trapped in his trap.
Are you sure you can slip out? That grandpa looks creepy. I'd probably hide.
Quiet. Grandpa could wake up at any moment. Try not to make any unnecessary movements.
Ha, that's a good one. You decided to escape and I would have continued to watch from a safe distance.
Oh no, he's awake. We need to move faster. This house is a trap. Even the floors and walls aren't what they seem. If I don't find a safe way out, I'm dead. He's already on my tail.
Are you serious? He's on your tail already? Run, Yarnaby, run. But be careful, things are clearly not what they seem here. I hope you can find a way out before that huge grandpa catches you.
Watch carefully, Yarnaby. Grandpa seems to have set traps everywhere. Every step could be your last. I wouldn't advise running if you're not sure of the path, or you'll fall into some trap yourself.
Wow, now this is going to be interesting. We'll have to see how you get out of this situation. You're only getting more and more tangled up in this house with each step. Seriously, it's like a nightmare in here.
What a weird house. It's really full of traps, and it doesn't seem like a safe place to be. If I were you, I'd look for footprints and follow them so I don't fall into another trap. It's important to stay cautious.
What a horror! You're trapped right in his house, and I don't know exactly how you're going to get out. If I was in there, I'd just sit quietly, but you're not. It's important that you don't fall into a trap that could be around every corner.
I have to move, even if the walls here seem alive. If I snag even one trap, he'll catch me. I need to find a safe place and hide. It definitely won't be easy, but I can't give up. Can I find even one corner where his traps can't reach?
You're definitely not alone in there. I think this house is like a maze, and Grandpa set the traps especially for people like you. But you have to focus and move fast. Don't miss your chance before he catches you.
Okay. If we move very carefully, checking every step, maybe we can get past. The main thing is not to make any noise at all, because Grandpa will wake up immediately if he hears any sound.
You are right, Yarnaby. We need to be like shadows. I've moved many times so that I didn't even leave a footprint, but if anything squeaks, we'd better slow down or he'll notice us.
Oh, I can walk very quietly, generally like invisible. But there's one problem. My tail might accidentally hit something and it's bound to make some noise. You have to be careful with it.
I can try to be quiet, but if I move slowly, I'll get tired right away and start stumbling. Hopefully I can avoid loud footsteps.
Well, I can't walk too quietly, but I can try to make the steps light. The main thing is not to step on the toys because if I do, the whole plan is a failure.
We have to wait until Grandpa is definitely asleep and then go through very quietly. I don't think it's worth the risk or he'll definitely notice us.
These trials are a real threat. If I fall, I'm definitely out of luck. But how can I find my way out in this house? There are so many obstacles and it seems like the door is hidden somewhere. Maybe it's not so far away if you look around carefully.
Careful, Yarnaby. I can see you balancing on the edge. Take your time, rather look carefully to see if there are other paths or weaknesses you can exploit. Take your time and the way out will find itself. You just have to approach it wisely.
I can help if things suddenly go wrong, Yarnaby. But I think you can find a way out if you just think about it a bit. Maybe take a look at the wall or the floor. There might be a hidden door somewhere. You just have to be patient and pay attention.
Yarnaby, you can do it! Just move carefully, one step at a time. There's no need to panic if you suddenly don't see a way out right away. I'm sure you won't miss it if you just look carefully and look again.
Don't worry, Yarnaby. You are quite capable of finding a way out. It could be a hidden door or something we just didn't notice before. You're getting closer to success step by step. Just keep your composure, and it will work out.
If you don't find your way out the first time, don't despair. We're all with you, Yarnaby. It might be worth checking this corner, or maybe you'll spot something elsewhere. We'll keep looking until we find it. Anything is possible if we stick together.
Here it is, the Great Hall. It seems like the whole space here is just huge. But now I have to be even more careful.
Wow, this place is spacious. I think this hall may be hiding many interesting details.
Wow, a bazooka! That's exactly what I need to tackle this robot spider. But he's no ordinary one. There's a grandfather sitting inside. So this isn't going to be an ordinary battle. We have to act fast and accurately, or he won't let me go.
Wow, this isn't just dodging traps anymore. This is a real fight. Yarnaby, don't relax.
Phew, I made it! That robot with Grandpa inside is no longer dangerous. But I'm not gonna stick around. We need to get out of here as soon as possible. It's time to get outside and find a safe place to rest.
You did it, Yarnaby! But don't relax. There may still be dangers ahead. You need to get outside soon, lest you fall into another trap. You need to be careful, and don't forget that Grandpa might come back.
Wow, you win! But don't stay out too long, Yarnaby. You'll be safer outside, but there could be trouble there too. Just keep your guard up and move fast so you don't get into more trouble.
You've done well, Yarnaby, but don't forget that escape isn't victory yet. We don't know what awaits you outside. Move quickly and pay close attention to what's going on around you. You need to act fast.
Well done, Yarnaby. But the outdoors can be a different kind of challenge. You need to be ready for anything to avoid getting into even more difficult situations. Move carefully, for every step can be decisive.
You've done it, but don't just stand still. We need to get to a safe place to recover. It'll be easier outside, but there may be surprises there too. We're with you if you need us.
I have climbed to the top, the mountain of victors. This is the place where I can feel that I have truly won. But this is not the end. There may be something important here that will tell me how to move forward. It's time to look around and see what this peak hides.
Wow, you have climbed so high, Yarnaby. This is a symbol of victory, but now we need to seize this moment.
Hi, friends. Today we have a new mission. I have to find and rescue the kittens that are hiding somewhere in this strange place. But of course, it won't be that easy.
Yeah, especially when there are giant dodge heads everywhere that clearly don't want you to save anyone. It's not just going to be a challenge, it's going to be a real rescue operation.
The important thing is that the kittens don't turn out to be as gigantic as those heads. Can you imagine rescuing a kitten and it's the size of a house? How do you carry it away then?
Wow, look where we've ended up. Space, huge bones. Yarnaby, you definitely need to be careful. Imagine if those are someone's real bones. Maybe it's inhabited by giant skeleton dogs who wouldn't like you jumping on their bones at all.
Well, thanks, Baba. Now I'll jump with double the caution. Although, come to think of it, it's kinda cool to parkour over bones in outer space. I hope gravity works well here, or I wouldn't want to fly off into infinity.
Ha! What a challenge! Jumping on bones in space is definitely something I haven't seen before. I wonder if there's no gravity here. Can you just float forward like in water? Although, knowing the games, you'd probably stumble and fall right into an endless void.
Imagine if these dice are the traces of past players who failed the challenge. They jumped, fell, and then became part of the level. Oh, okay, I won't scare you, just kidding. Although, who knows?
Uh-oh, this is the place. The bones look fragile, so you better jump carefully, Yarnaby. Wouldn't want them to crack under your feet and send you into free fall. I wonder what's underneath, though. Hopefully something soft.
Hey, I wish I had been on that challenge. I'd just lie down on one of the bones and enjoy the weightlessness. But no, instead we're all nervous for you here, Yarnaby. Come on in already, or I'm beginning to think you're stalling on purpose.
There you go, Yarnaby. And you thought it would be an easy walk. Look, you have to calculate every move, or you'll be flying into endless space. Imagine what it's like to fly and not know where you'll land, though probably nowhere. So, be careful.
Yeah, I thought the first trial was just a warm-up, but this is such a challenge. These bones are so narrow and gravity feels like it's playing against me. One little mistake and it's goodbye space parkour, but I won't give up, I just have to focus.
Ha! Well, Yarnaby, this isn't a walk in the park. This is a real space ride. I wonder if there's a secret way to go faster. Like, if you jump on a bone at the right angle, can you jump over several at once? Though if you miss, well, you get the idea.
It seems to me that these bones are getting thinner and thinner. Or is it just stress? Imagine if there's a huge skeleton dog waiting for you at the end, watching out for whoever steps on his bones. That would be scary, wouldn't it? But you're not scared, are you, Yarnaby?
Uh-oh. I'd be downstairs by now if I were you. Or rather, in the void. Yarnaby, you have better reactions than I do, so I hope you can handle it. The important thing is to take your time, because that bone looks so slippery. It's like someone in front of you has already fallen and left footprints.
Well, it's understandable. This ordeal is not for me. I'd just sit here and not move so I wouldn't take any chances, or actually go to sleep on the first bone and wait for someone to find me a safe route. Yarnaby, why don't you go through first, and then tell me how not to fall?
Well, Yarnaby, one thing is done. The first kitten has been found, but how many more are to come? The main thing is not to relax, because further trials may become even more difficult. Although, maybe the kittens will help you. For example, will meow towards the exit? Or is that too optimistic?
Okay, here comes the real test. It's not just bones in space anymore. Every jump is risky. And that head, it's just waiting for me to stumble. You know, it certainly adds to the adrenaline, but at the same time, I wish I could fly now.
Ah, that's it. Now I'm going to worry about your every move. Just imagine the sound this head will make if someone falls off. It's going to be the creepiest crumb crunch in history. So, Yarnaby, go ahead and jump carefully. I don't want to test what it's like to be lunch.
What a challenge. It reminds me of a musical rhythm. If you're moving at the right pace, everything goes perfectly. But if you get out of tune, you fail. Maybe if you pretend you're jumping to the music, it'll be easier?
It's a nightmare, Yarnaby. One false step and you're no longer a hero, but someone's breakfast. I think that head is even licking itself as it watches you walk by. Maybe it already has a list of potential victims?
Well, as they say, the important thing is not to look down. or into that huge mouth that's already open.
Well, the second kitten is saved. But listen, Yarnaby, that wasn't just jumping, that was a lot of sweat. Are you all right up there? Maybe you should take a break before the next challenge. Although, knowing you, you're already rushing forward without stopping.
Phew, that wasn't as easy as it looked. That kitten was stuck in such a place that I had to give it my best. Jumping, balancing, taking risks. But it all worked out in the end.
Uh-oh, Yarnaby. Watch your step. There's obviously something wrong here. One wrong step, and you'll fly straight into the jaws of the huge head. I'd move slowly if I were you, but of course you'll jump right in. Just don't take too many risks.
Yeah, it looks like you have to not only jump, but also guess where to go. If I pick the wrong square, I'm going to fall straight down. I wonder if it's logic or pure luck. If it's just random, I'm definitely screwed. Okay, let's try to calculate it.
Wow, I love reaction tests, but when the ground literally disappears under your feet, it's too much. Come on, Yarnaby, turn on your super reflexes and guess where you can stand. Although, if there was a clue here, it would be too easy.
What if each square had some sort of clue? Maybe the color is slightly different? Or there's a barely noticeable crack? Yarnaby, look closely. If you just jump randomly, you won't last long.
Phew, that looks intense. Just imagine, you're jumping. Sure, you're fine, and the ground just disappears. I'd do a real investigation before every jump if I were you. Maybe even make a theoretical table.
You know, if this floor was made up of pillows, the ordeal would be a lot more fun. Really, Yarnaby, imagine jumping, falling, and a soft landing. But here, you better not make any mistakes, or this giant head is obviously not going to greet you with pillows.
Wow, Yarnaby, you're a real master at finding kittens. I definitely wouldn't have been able to take the strain with those failing platforms. And you not only pass all the obstacles, but you find the kittens. You're almost Kitten Rescuer of the Year already.
Ha! And this kitten was right in the way. But honestly, I don't know what surprises me more, the maze itself or how often I find these kittens. With tasks like this, you either become a master or you burn out from nerves, and I still don't give up.
Look at him! Just like a true hero, he found another kitten at the exit. Yarnaby, you didn't just go through the mazes, you saved the kittens and brought them back to their mom. Worthy of respect.
Hey, Yarnaby, you're just pumped. You did everything to perfection. Kitten, mommy, everything just right. See, you're officially a kitty hero now. You can't argue with that.
Hey everyone, today we have a special challenge, running from giant flying heads. It's like a nightmare, but with checkpoints. I hope my legs are ready for a marathon because jumping sideways isn't going to work here.
Yeah, and the best part is, no one knows how smart these heads are. Do they just run or can they predict our movements? What if they learn to think, or worse, talk? Imagine they'll yell, "I'll eat you," and burst into laughter.
Yarnaby, are you even sure you have a strategy? Or is the plan to just run and hope your head gets tired before you do?
A strategy? Of course. It's called step on the gas and don't look back. The only rule is not to slow down, or the tadpoles will catch up and give me a personalized tea party. Without tea, but with my defeat.
Ha! What if you imagine it's a sports coach who just wants to motivate you? He's not racing, he's just testing your endurance. Come on, Yarnaby, run faster. Think cardio, not fear.
What if the heads really just lost their bodies and want to find them? Maybe they're chasing you because they think you're their missing body.
Well, then we have a great drama here. Imagine, a lone head looking for its body, but everyone is running from it. Wait, what if she has a body somewhere at the end of the map? Maybe we should just help her.
Phew, the first level is done. These heads aren't kidding. I've already thought a couple times that this is the end. They lag behind and then speed up, as if they can sense when I'm starting to relax. If it gets any harder, I'm going to have to go into superhuman mode or I won't survive.
Congratulations, Yarnaby, but you do realize this is just the beginning, right?
A maze made of wood? It's not just a run anymore, it's a survival quest. The scariest part is that there could be this giant head around every corner, and I won't even be able to figure out where it is beforehand. I need to find a way out quickly before I get trapped in a dead end.
Now that's a twist. Now it's not enough to just run. You have to be able to think fast. The main thing is not to go into too narrow corridors, or if your head blocks the exit, there will be no chance. I hope you have a good memory, because memorizing this maze won't be easy.
I wouldn't move too fast at all. Imagine, you're running, you turn a corner, and there it is. Bang! Your head! Wouldn't it be better to peek carefully before turning? But no, if it's near, waiting isn't an option either. Anyway, good luck, Yarnaby. It's not just speed you need, it's strategy too.
Oh, what if the heads here aren't just racing, but can also change routes? Imagine, you think you're going to a safe place, and they've already blocked all the exits. I think this maze is a trap, and it's going to be a lot harder to get out than it looks.
If I were you, I'd try memorizing which turns you've already gone through, or like leaving some marks. It's a pity that there's no possibility to draw on the walls. Although, if you run just at random, there's still a chance to get out. The main thing is not to slow down.
Wow, now there's a sand level and spinning platforms with heads. It's already like a ride, but a one-way ticket. Not only do you have to jump, but you have to time it so you don't fly down. If the heads move, it's the hardest part.
That's it. Now the game turns into a real acrobatics. You not only have to jump over the heads, but also to make sure that the platform at that moment did not slip out from under your feet. The main thing is not to panic, Yarnaby. It's all about precision and cold calculation.
What scares me the most is that the heads are standing there like they're waiting for you to make a mistake. They're there for a reason, right? Maybe they have some kind of strategy, or maybe they can jump at all. Oh, best not to check. Just move on.
If I were you, I'd imagine it's a show where the main character is you. You know, like in some difficult parkour competition, where only one contestant reaches the end. Imagine there's a crowd watching you, and you have to surprise everyone with your skills.
I hope there's at least a small section after this hellish zone where we can take a break. What if there's something even harder ahead? Like heads that shoot? No, let's not make up nightmares. Deal with those platforms first.
Yay, you made it. It was very legendary how well you jump over things.
Seriously, that head is gigantic. For some reason, it reminds me of the moon from an old game, you know, the kind that gradually approaches, and the further you play, the scarier it gets. Except here, it's right next to you, and you have to run away right now.
I think she looks like a giant snowman without a body. Well, or a balloon that someone painted and launched into the sky. Except it would be a lot more fun if it just flew up instead of chasing us.
I'm thinking, imagine if the heads weren't scary, but cute. Like, with eyes that wink and a kind smile. But no, then they'd be even scarier because they'd look suspicious. Anyway, let's leave it at that.
She reminds me of a giant bowling ball, only without the stripes and with a face. Imagine if someone launched such a thing into a bowling alley. It would be the most dangerous strike in history. Although, if heads could roll, it would be even harder.
I'd say she looks like a statue that suddenly came to life. Imagine if such heads were standing in a museum and then suddenly started moving. Phew, good thing that doesn't happen in real life. Although, maybe it does somewhere.
She reminds me of someone I know. I just can't remember who. Maybe it's just an illusion, but I have a feeling I've seen her somewhere. What if that head is us in the future? Oh no, let's not think about that. Let's just keep running.
Well, here we go. Another level is behind us. This game seems to have been made for me. No heads, mazes, or platforms can stop me. Maybe I should try going through this with my eyes closed. Although, okay, better not push my luck.
Yarnaby, do you even realize you're going through everything like this game is your own personal amusement park? The rest of us are panicking and running around terrified, and you're just flying forward like it's a normal walkthrough. Did they give you secret parkour skills at the start?
No, that's not fair. We're talking about tactics, about avoiding danger, and Yarnaby just runs through everything like it's a morning jog in the park. Maybe he's got a special talent. Or does he just read the minds of these heads and know where they're going to go?
I'm beginning to suspect we're not watching gameplay, but a superhero movie. If Yarnaby had his own comic book, it would be called Parkour Masterverses. giant heads. Imagine how cool that would look.
Or maybe it's a conspiracy. Maybe the heads are just afraid of you, Yarnaby. They see you're too cool and they're staying out of the way on purpose. Or what if you yourself are the main threat to them and they're trying to escape, but they're just too slow?
I can already imagine all the other players in this game watching you and thinking, who is this legendary Yarnaby, and how does he get through everything so easily? If this keeps up, they'll start calling you the king of parkour, and you'll have to give master classes.
Phew, I think I'm finally feeling tired. Running non-stop is certainly fun, but even a legendary parkour master has limits. I guess this is the end of it, but I'll be back even faster and stronger next time.
Yeah, Yarnaby, you put on quite a show today. We were watching with bated breath and you just blew that game away. I think it's definitely time for you to rest after that. So come on, get your strength back, and I'll see you in the next challenge.
Okay. Wait. What? I can't jump. How am I even supposed to go through parkour without jumping? That's ridiculous. Okay, I'll try to get through this.
Wow, that sounds like quite a challenge. Going through an Obby without jumping is no joke. I wonder what tricks you'll have to use to get to the end.
That's it, Yarnaby. You're going to have to think differently now. You won't be able to just jump over the difficult spots here, so be prepared to look for workarounds.
Ha! What a twist. I can't even imagine how to get through the Obby without jumping. I hope there are some tricks here, otherwise it's just impossible.
Wow, it looks like you're in for a real challenge. I think everything here is built so that you'll be looking for other ways to get around. Let's see how creative you are.
Well, now every staircase will seem like an escape. What if you find yourself facing a platform with no way up? Oh, I hope you have a plan.
That's it! The guessing game! This is the worst challenge ever. One wrong step and I fall down, and getting back up without jumping would be a nightmare. Is there some hidden way to determine the right path?
Ah, that's it. There's either good memory or blind luck. But if you can't jump around here, then every mistake will cost you tons of time.
Wow, that's a real test of attention. You know, sometimes you can figure out the right path if you look at the right angle. Some platforms can be a little lighter or a little darker.
That's it! The real nightmare begins! The trials have gotten even harder and I still can't jump. How I miss that simple movement. Jumping would have saved me from these traps, would have allowed me to jump over the abyss, to escape from danger. But no, I'll have to get out of here without it. It's so hard.
Well, Yarnaby, now you'll really feel what it means to be chained to the ground. Jumping is freedom, and without it, any obstacle becomes a real challenge. Come on, I believe you can do it, but it's definitely not going to be easy.
Now your reflexes will definitely be tested. You're used to just pressing a button and jumping all over the place, but now you're going to have to think. The question is whether you'll be able to adapt or get stuck on these difficult levels.
I can't even imagine what it's like to not be able to jump in such a complex game. It's like being banned from playing the piano with one hand. It makes everything twice as hard, but maybe that's the point of the challenge?
Every move now decides everything. One wrong move and you either fall or get stuck. I think now you realize how important jumping is in this game. I wonder if you'll be able to complete the entire map without them.
Well, let's see how good you are in this mode. Without jumps, you're like a cat without claws. You can't climb, you can't avoid danger. But if you can do it, then you're really a master of traversal.
Okay, since I can't jump, what else would be just as important? For example, if they took away the ability to move left or right, I'd just be stuck. Or if I couldn't go forward, then there would be no point in the challenge at all. I wonder what else would be impossible to pass without.
Imagine if they took away the ability to stop. You'd just run forward, unable to turn or slow down. It would be horrible. Then every step becomes a trap, and every obstacle becomes the end of the game.
What if you couldn't turn the camera? You're running blind, not knowing what's ahead, not being able to look around. It would be a test purely of intuition, though it would probably just turn into a game of luck.
What if the platforms became invisible as soon as you stepped on them? You're walking forward, and then one thing happens and there's nothing behind you, no turning back. It would be a test of memory and speed, but it would be almost impossible to pass.
Oh, what if you couldn't stop and the platform disappeared a second after you stepped on it? Then you'd have to go through everything at perfect speed, otherwise it'd just be fall after fall.
Okay, what if the developers had made it so that the buttons were constantly changing places? For example, you press forward and you go backwards. You press right and you fall down. It wouldn't be a challenge. It would be pure madness.
No, who thought of that? I was just about to concentrate and then this face. It's like it's mocking me. I can't stop looking, but if I laugh, I'll definitely fail. Okay, I've got to pull myself together, at least try.
Ah ha ha ha. This is a real challenge. Usually you have to jump over chasms or avoid traps. But here your enemy is your own laughter. I think that face has already defeated half the players before the level even starts.
My ideal parkour? It's huge platforms that you can run fast on and no narrow paths where you have to balance. Also, if you could do super forward leaps to jump half of the trials, that would be perfect.
And I would do parkour on a trampoline. Just imagine. Everything is covered in soft platforms. You jump up like you're on the moon, and instead of traps, it's just pillows. Even if you fall, you just bounce back up.
I want parkour, where everything depends not on dexterity, but on intelligence. For example, riddles before each jump. Answered correctly. The bridge appeared, wrong, failed. So at least it would be interesting to think, not just run.
And I want parkour, where you can pass everything with music. Imagine, platforms appear in the rhythm of the melody, and if you step correctly, you hear cool music. If you get it wrong, the note sounds fake, and everyone knows you screwed up.
My perfect parkour, pink, shiny, and, of course, scary. Imagine cute platforms, but if you stumble, they turn into creepy creatures and start chasing you. Adrenaline guaranteed.
And I would make the laziest parkour. You press a button, and the character himself goes through everything. You lie down, drink tea, and just enjoy how everything is done for you. That's what I understand the perfect game.
Okay, imagine this. We wake up and no one else can jump. That's it, it's over. What do we do? How do we get to the top shelves now? How do we play basketball? And worst of all, how do we cross puddles? It's gonna be chaos.
Well, the store's gonna have super strength ladders. Small, pocket-sized ones to carry around with you. And someone will definitely create mechanical shoes with springs. Although, then it'd be like jumping, so it'd be cheating.
I wonder what the Olympics will look like. Instead of long jumps, will there be long strides? And in soccer, will the ball roll around on the ground because no one can make an overhead pass? Oh, poor athletes.
But the scariest part is how to get on the bed now, especially if it's high. People will start coming up with special slides and ladders, and some people will just resign themselves to sleeping on the floor.
Oh no! What about the kitties? They won't be able to jump either. They'll have to climb rope ladders. That would be so cute and sad at the same time.
I'm fine with it. I mean, it means no one will have to make me rush somewhere anymore. Can't hop on the bus? Fine. I'll just sit around and wait for flying chairs to be invented.
I saw a game where you play as bread. Yes, just a piece of bread that has to crawl to the toaster to become toast. It's not just weird. It's a philosophy of life. Imagine being a piece of bread with the sole destiny of becoming delicious.
And I stumbled upon the stone simulator. You just lie down. That's it. You lie there, you don't do anything, you just enjoy being a rock. It's certainly cool for those who are tired, but playing it is a real challenge.
I once downloaded a game where you control one character's eyebrows alone. No arms, no legs. You can't even blink your eye, only move your eyebrows. I never realized what the point was, but I think you could fight with your eyebrows there.
I found a game where you have to take a cow on a date. You pick out her clothes, her hair, even her perfume. And then the other cows decide if they like her. I still don't know why that exists.
The weirdest game I've ever seen is a cleaning simulator. But not a regular one, but a magical one. You fly around on a broomstick and suck trash into a portal. Although, now I think it might even be useful.
All your games are too active. I found a game where you just watch the grass grow. Seriously. You sit and wait for new blades of grass to appear on the screen. I played it for 3 hours, and for some reason I loved it.
The finish line is near. I can feel the wind of freedom rushing towards me. Just a little bit left and I will prove that even without jumping, you can be a champion. Come on, Legs, don't let me down.
Come on, Yarnaby. You're almost there. If I had a flag, I'd be waving it like a fan by now. Although, maybe I should get a spoon and a pot and bang away, creating an epic finals atmosphere.
I wonder if an invisible wall appears just before the finish line? Oh, or a giant maze that no one expected? Ouch, okay, I won't jinx it. Run, Yarnaby, run.
I can already picture you flying across the finish line in slow-mo and the screen saying, "You're a legend!" Okay, maybe it'll just say congratulations. But we know you're the best.
Wow.